Hello, my name is Annie Jensen. I'm a project manager in the City Manager's Office. This item for the February 20th, 2024 City Council meeting is a request for the approval of one new ongoing project, one new one-time project, and a scope expansion to one existing project. All three projects are under Measure O. Staff recommends that the City Council approve the new projects proposed here as number 1 and number 2, approve a budget appropriation for these two new projects. The budget appropriation is detailed on this slide as number 3. And lastly, that the council approve a scope expansion for an existing project, which is number 4 on this slide. Let's take a look at each of these requests in more detail. The Measure O annual report printing project is the only new project request for ongoing funding. One of the statutory requirements of the Measure O ordinance is that city staff create and publish a written annual report. This report is required to be printed and mailed to all households in the city. As you can imagine, that's a substantial printing cost that has to date been covered by the general fund. As this cost is required by Measure O, staff proposes that Measure O funds it for the remainder of the life of the sales tax. This would be 8 years of printing at $28,000 per year for a total of $224,000. The second new proposed project is radio infrastructure for the police department. The police department is experiencing an increase in the number of locations where their radios don't effectively transmit, known as dead spots. This poses a safety threat to public safety personnel who may be attempting to broadcast critical information or request backup during hazardous situations. This project totals $4 million, the majority of which is already funded by the ARPA program. The city proposes $952,720 in funding from Measure O be paired with the ARPA funds to complete this vital upgrade. Both the radio infrastructure project and the annual report printing project require a corresponding budget appropriation in fiscal year 23-24 in the amount of $980,720 from the Measure O fund balance, as well as the corresponding capital outlay Fund 301, transfer in, and appropriation. This request is a little different. It is a scope request for a scope increase for the existing project, but no funding increase is needed. Currently, the Safe Home, Safe Family project funds salaries of one code compliance inspector, one administrative technician, and support from the city attorney's office to operate the Safe Home, Safe Families program. Staff would like to expand the scope so that Safe Home, Safe Families staff can also provide support for specialized programs such as food vendors, short-term rentals, homeless encampment support, rent stabilization and just caused evictions, and activities related to the December 2023 severe storm event and flooding. If approved, staff proposes changing the title of this project to reflect specialized program support as well. Please note that staff does not recommend cannabis enforcement be included under the, if approved, expanded scope of the Measure O Safe Home, Safe Families project. This is in response to feedback from the Measure O Citizen Oversight Committee at their January 25th, 2024 meeting. These three requests are for pressing needs. There are several other identified priority projects that are less urgent. These requests will be brought to the Measure O Committee for consideration in April, and if approved, will go to the City Council for approval as part of the adoption of the city's annual budget. The ending fund balance of Measure O, this is the unassigned reserve, on June 30th, 2023, was $17.5 million. The ending balance is projected to be $21.1 million by June 30th, 2024. If approved, the three new projects will total $1,176,720 in Measure O. This includes all ongoing years of operation for the printing. This concludes staff's presentation. I will be at the February 20th meeting along with the department representatives for the proposed projects to address any questions you may have on this item. Thank you. Goodbye.